I am Septimus. I will not be defeated.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Elia from Rhythm and Minds. So, coming to you with another episode today, episode number 3. That was 2, 3. Episode number 3. So, what we touching on today? We're gonna touch on mental health statistics. What are some of the statistics of mental health disparities within our community? One of the things that we don't do is go get mental health assistance. Number one is going to be because of we don't like hospitals, we don't like doctors, we can't trust the system of the medical system. Also, the stigma of mental health assistance, needing assistance, especially in our community where people feel like if they get assistance or help, they're weak. All right. Excuse the camera moving around. I'm trying to make sure it gets settled and straight, until I can get the setup that I need. But with that, let's go ahead and get into it, because who I'm speaking to the Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans that have been affected by colonialism, slavery, generational trauma, those that are experiencing mental health issues, whether it's mental health crises, whether you are dealing with suicidal ideation, severe depression, generational traumas. We haven't even got into war traumas that our people are experiencing for some of those that are in particular countries that are going through traumas that have been afflicted. Those traumas have been afflicted by war. All right? We haven't even touched on that. We just touching on the historical generational traumas that we still face even unto this day. All right. So let's get into it. Statistics. What are some statistics? All right. We're going to touch on some statistics. I'm going to do some reading. All right. Statistics show that Black and Hispanic communities, Native Americans as well, in the U.S. are significantly less likely to seek mental health services compared to white Americans, despite experiencing similar or greater levels of psychological distress. Here are key data points based on recent research, mostly from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and I have another down here that's going to touch on Native American disparities as well. Mostly from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, National Institute of Mental Health, and other peer-reviewed studies, which we know they're going to be biased in many aspects. But one thing that I will, I'm not going to say 100% agree with, but we do not seek mental health services the same rate as other nationalities. All right, let's get into it. Utilization of mental health services in the U.S. All right. Black African American adults. About 1 in 3 Black adults with mental illness receive treatment, around 33%. So that's about 33% of Black Americans receive mental health treatment. This is significantly lower than the 46% of white adults who receive care. All right. Hispanic Latino adults. About 1 in 3 Hispanic adults with mental illness receive treatment, approximately 35%. Why? Language barriers, immigration status, and stigma are major factors in underutilization. You can throw that last part up there, stigma, for the blacks as well, for the so-called blacks. All right. So let me get down here to Native Americans, and then I'm gonna come back up and touch on something else. All right. Here are some key statistics on mental and behavioral health among Native American and Alaska Native communities in the U.S., along with commentary on what they mean and barriers to care. Because if anybody was paying attention in the news, there was like hundreds of uh, uh, burial areas within Alaska, if I'm not mistaken, that were unearthed or uncovered last year or the year before. If you watch Democracy Now, you'll be able to find some of that information. All right, let's get into it. Key statistics: about 19.6 of the American Indian Alaska Native adults experienced any mental illness in the past year. Approximately 7.3 experienced a serious mental illness in the past year. Let me get into. Here we go. Only about 11.6% of American Indian Alaskan Native adults received mental health treatment in the past year. That's the past year. All right. It says American Indian and Alaskan Native people report serious psychological distress at about 2.5 times the rate of the general U.S. population. Sorry about that. Here we go. In California, a recent study found that over 1 in 3 adults experienced moderate or serious psychological distress in the past year, and 61% of those had not seen a medical provider in that period. So 61% of that 1 in 3 did not receive help. From 2022 data, the rate of adults receiving mental health treatment services per 100,000 was 4,003 versus 1,910 for white adults. Man, that's crazy. So it says, let me check this out. American Indian, Alaskan Native communities have higher prevalence of mental health challenges, any mental illness, serious mental illness, psychological distress, co-occurring substance use, compared to many other groups. Despite the high need, treatment usage remains low, about 11.6% receiving services, indicating a gap between need and access. So look at this. That shows you, when you look at Black Americans, and we're not touching on even those within the diaspora, we're just talking about Black Americans. Black Americans, 33%. Hispanic Latino, so-called Hispanic Latino, so-called Black, so-called Hispanic Latino, 35%. That's just within the U.S. And Native American, 11.6%. So as you can see, not only is it lack of care or fear of care, not only is it not having the access to the proper care, also it goes into the stigma that surrounds mental health, because within our communities, when someone receives mental health assistance, besides someone being mentally disabled or challenged, whether they are someone who has a mental retardation or they have autism or something like that, some of the things that you can't, like, special needs, like the things you can't get past. We're not talking about the person that's sitting in front of you that can hold a conversation with you, but they have psychosis. Or the person that's sitting in front of you that can hold a conversation with you, but they struggle with severe depression or manic depression or seasonal depression. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm going to say this. I'm not a licensed mental health professional. I'm just somebody who cares about my people within the diaspora who are facing mental health issues. And I understand the seriousness and the big job that it is for us to even bring this forward, because our people hold so much fear in talking about mental health issues. Now, why this doing this? Oh man, computers. All right. So barriers, I'm almost done. Barriers to seeking health, stigma around mental illness and cultural beliefs. Mental health as example is mental health as weakness, or it's not real. It, the things that you're experiencing, it's not real. You know, we you just you making it up. You know, yeah, you're not really experiencing that. Lack of access to culturally competent care. Remember, I talked about that in the last episode. Culturally competent care. You gotta have somebody who knows what the hell they talking about. You have to have somebody who knows about the struggle, the trauma that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have faced and are still facing, because it hasn't ended. It's not stopped. It's just a different form of what they call is a neo-colonialism, the different form of colonialism, a different form of oppression. All right. Uh, under insurance, or lack of insurance coverage, because we can't afford it. You know, distrust of the medical system due to historical and systemic inequities. Because again, in the Native American community, who wants to go to somebody that took your ancestors from their land, ran them off the land, took when they got them on reservations, came and took their children and put them in boarding schools, had a system called Kill the Indian, Save the Man, when they just literally wiped, like brainwashed and wiped your heritage from you, and then want to come back and treat you for mental illness. Black people taken from their land, many blacks are Native American. You know what I'm saying? Who'd have thunk it? Many blacks are Native American, taken from their land. So-called Hispanics, taken from their land stolen. And then you want who wants to go to somebody you cannot connect with me, you cannot relate to me, and tell me, what your experience is not real. Blacks, so-called blacks, what they call it, drapedomania, when we were running from the plantations. They call it drape. Man, had a whole name for it. And I'm trying to hurry up and get through these statistics, y'all. It was supposed to be a short video. But check this out. All right. Youth statistics. So we're going to deal with some youth statistics. Black and Latino youth are less likely than white youth to receive treatment for depression or anxiety because, hey, you just feel bad today. Suck it up, buttercup. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's not real. You just feeling down right now. Yep. So only 30% of black youth and 27% of Hispanic youth with major depression receive treatment compared to 45% of white youth. So it's telling you, what this is telling you is that our people are less likely to receive mental health treatment. All right? So check this out. Let me see. Let's get into some Native American youth. One of the biggest things that are having in Native American youth, targeting youth, giving high suicide risk among younger age brackets and ensuring early intervention. So those are some of the implications, because why? It's telling you historical trauma, multi-generational trauma from colonization, boarding schools, forced assimilation, meaning kill the Indian, save the man. We're going to wipe your heritage from you and make you brown-skinned white people. All right? It's what happened. It's truth. It's the truth. It's not a lie. All right. Forced assimilation. Forced assimilation contributes to greater mental health burden, underfunding, and provider shortage. So it says stigma, trust, and appropriateness. Some indigenous members may distrust mainstream providers, feel misunderstood because you cannot relate to me, or prefer traditional spiritual healing. So they'll go to the shamans or whatever instead of being able to really deal with the mental health struggles that they face. Now, at the end of the day, all the things that I brought out in the last video about working on how to better our mental health, those are the things that are within the last video that I touched on. All right. So we want to make sure that we, as a people, those of us who are stronger in our journey, our walk, or however you want to say it, because again, I'm believing in the Most High God. Those of us who are strong should be able to help strengthen the weak. We should be able to help our brothers and our sisters who are struggling with their mental health. Because why? We have the strength for them to be able to lean on us and to build ourselves up within our understanding of mental health, of trauma, of things. And don't just use the word trauma like it's just some word to just throw around. That's something really serious. It's not something to be played with. Generational trauma, post-traumatic stress, complex post-traumatic stress, which is ongoing stress that keeps going. It doesn't stop. That's what complex PTSD is. All right? We're not playing with mental health words to sound, what's the word? To sound like we're some scholar or something. We want to see our people strengthened and helped with their mental health struggles so that they can be effective within the community. All right? And those that are strong are to bear the burdens of the weak. All right? But we are here to help strengthen our people and help them to move past their mental health struggles. So with that, that's the end of this video. Again, I'm not a licensed professional, but I'm just somebody who cares about my people and want to see them strengthened and better in their mental health daily struggles. All right? So with the next video, y'all just be looking for the next video coming up. If you need mental health help, get it. Get the help that you need. Don't sit around and be struggling and you do something to harm yourself. Don't do that. All right? Get the help that you need. All right? And with that, see you on the next video. Y'all be good. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And love yourself. Love those loved ones that need it. All right? See y'all next time.